this chart. I have back and forth. So I'm going to kind of highlight which thing I'm talking about at once. So we'll start with the great. So some of this is repeated information. Some of this is brand new stuff you're going to learn right now. So he marched for 11 years, over 20,000 miles, never lost a battle. That is pretty impressive stuff. Now, for the not so great, what I just mentioned, he allowed the burning of the city of Persepolis to the ground in revenge for what Xerxes did to Athens in the Persian War, and this burning of Persepolis leads to a lot of Persian artifacts being destroyed. So there's something great, there's something not so great. Another great thing, he sets up a common system of currency so that everyone under his empire is using the same amount of money. He made another great thing. He made Greek the #1 language in the region. A not so great thing that he did is he gave himself the title Lord of Asia. And this happens after the whole Gordian knot thing. And some of the Greeks are like, this guy, you know what? Let him think he's Lord of Asia because he's this great military commander. Like, we don't want to mess with him. He makes Greek the #1 language in the region, which helps communication. That's a great thing. He established many new cities. There were 70 in total. 16 of them are these Alexandrias. That's a good thing. Now, this next thing is a not so great thing. I haven't mentioned this yet, and here's the thing. So, when Alexander is on the attack and attacking the Persians, what he did is this. There was a Persian soldier, well, actually more of like a Persian bodyguard, that is guarding Darius III, the king of the Persians. And after an intense battle, Darius flees, and Alexander chases after him. And he is a couple minutes behind where Darius is, and supposedly the bodyguard kills Darius. Darius is like, I don't want Alexander to kill me. You just kill me now, because then that stops him from getting, the glory. So the bodyguard kills Darius. And then the bodyguard decides to tell some fibs. So Alexander gets there and is like, why is he dead? What happened? And the bodyguard was like, I killed him because to show my allegiance to you, I want to be on your side. And Alexander's like, what? And he kills that person because he wanted to kill Darius III himself. And that shows like some stubbornness, a not so great thing. Now, Alexander the Great thing, he wants to merge Macedonian, Persian, and Greek culture. That's a great thing, to have everyone be diverse and things like that. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen because he died too young for his full plan to carry out. A not so great thing about Alexander is this. He lets power go to his head. So there were times he said, Philip II is my dad, but I am the son of Zeus. Zeus has adopted me as his child. And the Greeks are like, we can't tell if he's telling the truth or not. He is this great military leader. Maybe Zeus did adopt him. Who knows? So that gets a lot of support of his military efforts. One of the great things he does to show diversity, he's using Macedonians, Persians, and Greeks in his leadership roles. That's a great thing. Great thing is he's encouraging people to accept the Persians. So that's when he dresses like in Persian styles. He marries a Persian, thinking because he's part Macedonian and part Greek, and he marries a Persian, his kids would become Macedonian, Greek, and Persian altogether. A not so great thing, he has a major, did I spell that wrong? No, publicly, not publicity, publicly. Hold on. Wait, I'm right. Publicity. No. I want publicly. Now, wait. hold on. Everyone's watching this live. Did you ever have that moment where you're like, did I spell something wrong? I know it's right. Publicly. Not publicity. Publicly. I'm right. Yes. I'm right. They're wrong. Moving on. Anyway, so an interesting thing happens at the Olympics. He demands that people acknowledge him as a god there. He was like, I know this is in honor of Zeus, but I am the son of Zeus, so it should also be in honor of me. So the people are like, okay. And Demosthenes, you remember him, the pebble guy from the other day, the guy that, rehearsed with pebbles in his mouth. Demosthenes says, if he wants to be son of Zeus, make him son of Zeus. If he wants to be son of Poseidon, just tell him, yes, you're son of Poseidon. We know the truth. This guy seems like he'll get really angry if we disobey, so let's just go with it. So they did. One of the great things he does is, it's not great in terms of character, but political smartness it is. By proclaiming himself a god in Persia and Egypt, and I'll explain a little bit more about the Persia thing. I know I talked already about how he said Horus is inside of me, so he's a pharaoh. He did it to honor their religion. So if you may remember, the religion of the Persians is the Zoroastrianism. So he says to them, all I want to do is help defeat Ahriman. I am on Ahura Mazda's side. We're buddies. And the Persians are like, oh my gosh, how does he know about this? He must be friends. So it's his education about the people he conquered, which helps him be a good ruler and have control of that population. So that shows his great intelligence and political strategy. Another great thing, he brought scientists to study new plants in these lands, which, led to new learning. That's a great thing. All right. Another great thing, he sent kids from all over his empire to schools in Athens and Alexandria. So as he's conquering places, he would go to the local schools and he'd ask the teachers there, who are your best students? And he would give them scholarships to the best schools in Athens and Alexandria. That's a great thing. Not so great thing. At parties, Alexander would dress as the gods of Mount Olympus, like in costume, and act like them. So if he showed up dressed as Hermes, the messenger god, everyone had to call him Hermes and treat him as if it was actually the god there. That's a not so great thing as well. All right. The next great. Well, the last great and the last not so great. So in terms of the great, by the time he was 25, he conquered 90% of the known world, the world that was known at the time to the Greeks. He had 90% control of it by age 25. The not so great thing is he had scribes take every book, and as he conquered places, he took all their books, had them sent to Alexandria to be put in their library, and people were given a new copy of the book. They just had to wait a long time for the scribe to write it. So what was happening is he was taking people's literature, using it for his own library, and even though they would eventually get a copy, it was years before they got that copy. So he was really doing some harm to the literacy of some people in the regions he conquered. All right, so that is some great and not so great things about Alexander. See you later.